Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about something that often gets overlooked when we think about literacy instruction, speaking and listening skills. While reading and writing are usually the focus in early childhood classroom, research shows that a strong oral language and listening development are foundational predictors of reading success, especially through the development of phonological awareness. Understanding how these skills develop and how we can support them can make a significant difference for young learners. Typical development of listening and speaking birth through preschool. From birth to preschool, children rapidly develop their oral language ability. Infants begin developing listening skills almost immediately. They respond to familiar voices, recognize speech sound, and begin babbling. By around 12 months, many children say their first words and begin understanding simple direction. Between age 2 and 3, vocabulary grows significantly. Children begin combining words into simple sentences and asking questions. They also start following up two-step direction and participating in short conversation. By preschool, children typically speak in longer sentences, understand a story, read aloud, and can take turns in conversation. Early learning standards emphasize skills such as listening to and understand a spoken language, participating in conversation with peers and adults, asking and answering questions, developing vocabulary, recognizing and playing with sounds in words. This early listening and speaking skill build foundation for phonological awareness, which later support reading. Development from kindergarten through grade third. As children enter kindergarten and progress through third grade, oral language skills become more structured and academically focused. Students are expected to follow multi-step direction, participate in collaborative discussion, retell stories and describe events with details, ask and answer questions about information presented orally. Use increasingly precise vocabulary. Academic standards emphasize speaking and listening competence, such as presenting ideas clearly, engaging in discussion, and demonstrating comprehension through conversation. At this stage, oral language became directly connected to reading comprehension, decoding, and writing development. Effects of language delay. When children experience delays in language development, it can affect both listening and speaking abilities. Children with language delay may struggle with understanding direction, learning new vocabulary, expressing ideas clearly, processing spoken information. These difficulties can lead to challenge in phonological awareness, which is the ability to hear and manipulate sound in words. Because phonological awareness is a key predictor of reading success, children with language delay are at higher risk for reading difficulties and comprehension challenge. In some cases, frustration with communication can also affect classroom behavior and participation. Influence of speaking and listening on reading and writing. Listening and speaking skills play a critical role in literacy development. When children listen to a story, they learn vocabulary, sentence structure, story organization, meaning from context. Similarly, when children engage in conversations, they practice organizing their soul, using descriptive language, and expressing ideas clearly. The same skill directly transfers to reading and writing. For example, phonological awareness supports decoding words while reading. Vocabulary knowledge supports comprehension. Oral storytelling supports writing expression. In other words, strong oral language skills create a bridge to literacy. A strategy to foster listening and speaking skills. Early childhood educators can intentionally support speaking and listening development through several classroom strategies. First, interactive read alouds encourage students to listen actively and discuss a story. Teachers can ask open-ended questions and prompt a student to predict or retell events. Second, structured conversations such as think, pair, share give a student opportunity to participate and practice speaking and listening with peers. Third, modeling language is essential. Teachers can expand on children's response by adding vocabulary and more complex sentence structure. Additional strategies include storytelling and dramatic play, rhyme, song, and phonological awareness. Storytelling, dramatic play, song rhymes, and phonological awareness gain show and tell activities, visual support, and gesture for comprehension. These strategies help build both expressive and receptive language skills. Importance of collaborating learning. Collaborative learning is especially powerful for developing a speaking and listening skill. When students work together in pair or a small group, they practice listening to different perspectives, taking turns speaking and explaining their thinking. This social interaction strengthens language development while also building communication and problem-solving skills. Collaborative learning also creates more opportunity for authentic conversation, which is essential for oral growth. Dyslexia and its impact on listening and speaking. Dyslexia is primarily associated with difficulty in reading, but it can also affect listening and speaking skills, particularly when those skills involve phonological process. A student with dyslexia may struggle with recognizing and manipulating sounds in words, rapid word retrieval, following complex verbal instruction. To support a student with dyslexia, educators can implement strategies such as explicit phonological awareness instruction, multisensory teaching approaches, and visual supports alongside verbal instruction. So, in conclusion, I can say that speaking and listening skills are not separate from literacy. They are the foundation of reading and writing development. By understanding oral language development, recognizing the impact of language delay, and implementing intentional classroom strategy, early childhood educators can create learning environments that support strong communication and literacy outcomes for all students. Thank you.